Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Before I get this lesson started, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai by Shem Rakakadash. And double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone of whom I learn from, and shalom to the hopeful elect, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Radah with another report on who is the man of sin, who is the house of the thief.
Trevor? So you wake up to find out that Donald Trump has invaded Venezuela, saying that they kidnapped the president and they're bringing him back to the United States and they're facing drug charges. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, because for one, you have to prove that Maduro had any knowledge of direct knowledge of what was happening. You can't just say, hey, he was trafficking drugs. If you're going to bring him back and try him, you're going to have to prove it. And what jurisdiction do you have? He's the president of the country. You can't blame him for all this nonsense that the citizens do. If that's the case, then Donald Trump should be blamed for all the nonsense the citizens do. If that's the case, Netanyahu should be kidnapped by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard and brought to the ICC. Any country, maybe the United Kingdom, should just go invade Israel and arrest Netanyahu for war crimes.
This shows you a number of things. This proves that the so-called white man is Esau, because Esau was given the blessing of the sword, and by his sword he would live. Let's just get that really quick, and then I'm going to get the devil, so throw some of you in the prison. We got to break this. We cannot go along with the narrative. You know, there's a couple of fucking, God, bro, what Edomites think about Trump when he does, make America great again, this is great, you know, the president was in Venezuela illegally, or so. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. Venezuela is another country. It is a sovereign nation. It's got absolutely nothing to do with America. Yet you got Americans speaking on this situation like we're supposed to be over there, bro. It blows my fucking mind. I'm 53, 54 years old. And before I woke up, how I just assumed, whatever America does, we're number one. We always got to be the fucking winner. And my dumb ass, dude, we're not the military. We're not the government. We're not the race of people who established this fucking country. We were born here, and then we were indoctrinated into their fucking deception through school, through religion, and through the fucking media. They've just been brainwashing the fuck out of the American people, the USA. That's all bullshit. This is a fucking wicked experiment of a country, bro. Let's get the precept. Because we got to speak according to what it says. By thy sword thou shalt live. I mean, this is a blessing. Look, let's go back. So Genesis 27:39. This is the son of Abraham. This is the promised son, Isaac. And we understand now, because we have the full understanding of wisdom, knowledge, good and evil, that fucking Salakia, that reincarnation is a reality, right? And Isaac is Yahweh Shai. Isaac is the one that the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and he is speaking to his sons, and he's putting a blessing on them. And this is what he spoke on Jacob and Esau, okay? And this is what he's saying to Esau. And Isaac his father answered him and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven. From brother, that's talking about the rulership. That's talking about all the resources. That is what they have now. The so-called white man has this. And yet this was spoken to Esau. So who is it? Is it Esau, or is it the so-called white race? You got to go by what the scriptures say. And in this verse 40, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And this was after like King David and King Solomon. Because King David had the Edomites in subjection at one time. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. then will I slay my brother Jacob. And Valenzuela, all of South America, those starting from Mexico. Mexico is the tribe of Issachar. Central America is Zabulon, Valenzuela, and Brazil, and all those. That's Asher, and then I believe Chile. No, Valenzuela. Hold on, I might be getting it wrong between Asher and Napatalia. Salakia. Hold on, let me look. Let me look at the map. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Salakia. Hold on. Map of South America. Okay. Where are you at, Valenzuela? I don't have the anatomy of this country down perfectly yet. I'm still learning it. Okay, so yeah, that's Asher. So Valenzuela's up at the top. So you got Colombia, Valenzuela, all these. How do you make this motherfucker large? Okay, there we go. You got what the fuck? Brazil, Peru, all of these. That's Asher. When you go down to Argentina and Chile, that's Naphtali. And then when you go over here to Central America, that's Zabulon. These are, and this can be proven, you guys, through the prophecies. I believe it's Genesis 39, Deuteronomy 33. I'm paraphrasing. I'm probably butchering it, but GMS has done thorough lessons proving that the haven of ships is talking about the freaking Panama Canal, that the oil under Asher's feet, or the iron, the oil under Asher's feet goes into the rainforest in South America, and all of the freaking minerals and the fruits. It's been proven, you guys. Okay, freaking Issachar is an ass crouching between two burdens, talking about North America, South America, and Zidon being a border unto Zabulon, I believe, right? And freaking and that's going into the Olmec heads. Everything's been proven. These are the Northern Kingdom Israelites. Plus, 2nd Ezra's 13, bro. I think verse 40 down. Talks about, and then if you go into 1st or 2nd Kings, talking about the navy of King Solomon. We were coming over here in the Old Testament. It was a 1.5-year trip one way. So it was a 3-year round trip coming over here and going up into the North America to get peacocks and gold and stuff. It's all explainable for all you boneheads. Are like, these are the Israelites, okay, that the Edomites are doing this to. But going into Esau, proving that he's living by the sword. Also, there's another one, and this is going into Jacob's trouble. But you can apply this right now. The devil, right? The devil shall throw some of you in prison. And we did so this is Revelations 2:10. Look, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give you the crown of life. Now let's go into the blue letter. This is talking about a man. This is not talking about Satan, the prince demon Satan. Did Satan, the prince demon devil, go over there and bomb Valenzuela and kidnap the man and his wife, the head of that nation? No, the so-called fucking white man did that shit. So there you see a physical example of what this is talking about. Look. Prison. The devil. Look. The devil goes into diabolos, right? Prone to slander. What are they doing with Valenzuela? They're saying Valenzuela is selling drugs to justify why they're going over there. That is a slander. That's slanderous. That's accusing falsely. Because if the so-called white man was truly against drugs, why does he have such a huge fucking pharmaceutical reality? Why are so many Edomites dying 70,000, 90,000 a year from the fucking opioid, from the opioid epidemic that's coming specifically from Esau, that he controls the pharmaceutical industry? If he gave a fuck about drugs. If he truly gave a fuck about drugs, why did he bring crack cocaine into America in the 80s under Bush and Reagan and create the fucking war on drugs? If he truly gave a fuck, and that you can see that documentary on fucking Netflix. It's called Crack. And the 13th Amendment, or the 13th, talking about how they wrote the 13th Amendment, where they transferred us from slavery to the fields to the prison system. Everything this specific fucking race does, when you have been woken up, can be explained in the scriptures, and yet people still defend this race. They defend this man. Look, The devil shall throw some of you into prison, prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely, a calumniator, false accuser, slanderer. It's talking about the white man in his news media and his fucking narrative when he writes black people are 3/5 of a human. The Latinos that come over here, they're all rapists. Applied, look at number 2, applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of God, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. The so-called white man is the counterpart, is the physical counterpart to Satan. That's why he is also called Satan. That is the definition of this scripture. Prison, what's the prison? Look, guard, watch, a watching, a keeping watch, to keep watch. Persons keeping watch, a guard, sentinels of a place where captives are kept. A prison of the time of night during which guards was kept, a watch, i.e., a period of time during which part of the guard was on duty, and at the end of which others relieved them, as the earlier Greeks divided the night commonly into 3 parts. So previous to the exile, the Israelites also had 3 watches. So this is talking about a group of men watching a group of people they've captured. Okay? You guys got to see this for what it is, man. Who's the only people on earth doing this shit? Let's prove he's an accuser. Let's get how the 13th Amendment was written. Who wrote it? The so-called white man. The 13th Amendment. Look at it. They wrote it in 1685. How convenient. Right around the ending of slavery. It wasn't the end. What does it say? Let me see if I can find the actual quote of it. Neither slavery. Look at this. Look at it. The 13th Amendment. Who wrote it? Your friendly neighborhood white man. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as a punishment for a crime. Right there. Stop the fucking press. That second line, after that comma, that second line, that's the witchcraft. That's the enchantment. That's the proof of what this race of people is. They lied. They told the world, we stopped slavery. We ended slavery. We set the captive free. No, you fucking didn't. You just transitioned them from the fucking field and put their bodies in jail cells. You criminalized an entire nation of people that you victimized. For one, what is the white man even doing writing a law about the slaves? He should be going to prison for what he did to us, right? Can I kidnap your daughters, rape them every day for 100 years, and then write laws and tell men how they are supposed to conduct themselves with women? Think about how crazy what I just said is. That's what they're doing right here. They were raping us. They were selling us. They were fucking torturing us. They were eating us. And then they write a law on how we're supposed to be. They say we're criminals. You guys, when they wrote this law, there was no NWA. There were no gangs. There were no projects in Detroit or Chicago. We were the most productive work labor force on planet Earth. Yet they wrote this fucking accusation, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. And there was a law in the books where we couldn't defend ourselves against the white man in court. So you see where this is going. All a Edomite had to do is say we did something and we were guilty. That spirit, that is the curses, you guys, because that gives them power to rule over us. All they have to do is say we did it. And that's what you see here. Look. That's what you see happening here. That's what you see happening here. All he's doing, all the white man is doing is saying that this Israelite, these Latinos, these brown people, all these so-called, this fucking dude is orange, right? All they have to do is say you did something, right? And you did it. Look at the video prior to this. Look at this, though.
Trevor Milton, convicted of felony fraud for defrauding the American people in the amount of $660 million. Full pardon by Trump. Yvonne Archer, convicted of felony fraud for defrauding the American people in the amount of $60 million. Full pardon by Trump. Orange Duran, convicted of Medicare fraud, the largest in history. for defrauding the American people for $200 million. Sentence and restitution commuted by Trump. And the list goes on and on and on. What do all these people have in common?
They're all Edomites. They're all so-called fucking white people. Oh my God. And they're not in trouble. They are the wicked. We're going to get that prophecy. Look, how many times does one race of people in the Bible line up with all of the fucking all of the judgments, all of the descriptions in prophecy before you guys will admit that these fucking people must be that specific people that God's talking about?
Well, they don't look like black Muslim Somalis. And now, even though there has been 0 new indictments or arrests in the Minnesota fraud hoax, just like there's been no arrests in the Doge fraud hoax, Trump just froze all federal child care funding in the United States.
Which is going to further cripple the American economy. It's going to further fucking stop the flow of, it's going to fuck up finance. Do you know how many people go to work and need their children to be watched in these daycares? This is going to fuck shit up, man.
Do you want to know the easiest way to fuck the American working family? All you have to do is tell them that black and brown foreigners are stealing from the community pot.
All you have to do is accuse them. What does it say in the scriptures? That they are slanderers. They are accusers. They are the accuser of the brethren. That is not talking about Satan. It's talking about the so-called fucking white man, his physical counterpart. China's not spreading lies about Americans. China's not spreading lies about Israelites. Hamites, Africans are not doing that either. Neither are the Arabs. All you see is all this shit's coming out of the fucking American media and the American government, which is what? It's white people, Edomites.
So now we have to completely get rid of it because they're stealing from it. It literally works every single time. You know why? Because the American tax dollar is not for American working families. It's for rich white people with fucking veneers. So know your...
I can't believe he actually said that, which is pretty awesome. Well, let's get the precept about the wicked. Let's get the wicked. They are not in trouble like other men. Let me see, the wicked. Let's just say the wicked. Let me see. Boom. It's going to be in the Psalms. Asaph, I believe Asaph wrote it. Psalm 73. Why am I doing it this way? Yeah, it's just boom, boom. 72. Okay, boom. Boom. Let's go. For I was envious of the foolish. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. The wicked goes in his identity. This is not random people. This goes back to Esau, Edom. Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men. Verse 5. Neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out. So they're not in trouble like other men. Right? They're not in trouble like other men. They're not in trouble like other men. They're not in trouble like other men. But yet they go around saying all other men are in trouble.
Trevor Milton, convicted of felony fraud for defrauding the American...
Same race of people get to just look at you and say, you're doing something wrong, I have to punish you. You did something wrong, I got to judge you. And yet they are the wicked. The Bible says, the scriptures say that the so-called white man is the wicked. They're worse than the heathen. They're not equally as bad. They're worse bad. That is what prophecy says about this fucking race of fucking people, man. That's what it says. And nobody, in fact, not only do people not ascribe this to the so-called white man, they say he's the most moral and everyone needs to line up and be like him.
People in the amount of $660 million. Full pardon by Trump. Devon Archer, convicted of felony fraud for defrauding the American people in the amount of $60 million.
Remember, he's not in trouble. Verse 5, Psalm 73. They are not in trouble as other men. Neither are they plagued like other men. What else are they doing? What else are they doing, you guys? They covet fields. They covet fields. See if that pulls it up. Covet fields. Yes, man, that's what I wanted. Look, and they covet fields. That's what you see happening with Venezuela because of their oil reserves. They got the biggest oil reserve, they got the biggest oil wells or deposits. I'm gonna pull it up. Micah 2:2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away, so they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. The Edomites are the only race of people on the planet Earth that they will steal your national identity and pose as you. Have you guys ever seen that movie, The Thing? When the thing was this virus alien that comes from outer space, and if and when it eats you, it's able to mimic you. It's able to turn and physically take on your form, but it can't. It doesn't know how to. It can. It can perfectly mimic you until it's time to eat another host, and then when it leaves your body, it eats another person, and it takes on their. That's the so-called white man. And that's what they did with the fucking the controversy of Zion. They're mimicking the Hebrew Israelites right now on planet Earth, but they're not good at it. So this shows you who these people are. Look, man. Let's get some more. This shit has me so fucking mad when I woke up this morning.
2026, right? 2026. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine.
Let's see. Which one was she talking about, though?
Folks, we have some big news right now. I'm here with... Folks, holy shit, we have some huge breaking news. I woke up this morning. Our Substack is the #1 news Substack. I've got some huge breaking news. We have some news at this hour. Donald Trump is now calling Democrats and anyone questioning whether or not he needed congressional authorization to conduct the strikes in Venezuela, quote, weak, stupid people. He appeared on Fox News saying, quote, well, look, these are weak, stupid people.
What does the scripture say? Because he's not in trouble like other men. Pride, he wears pride like a necklace, right? Look, let's go. Damn, let me go back to that. It's gonna Psalms. Let me just go back. Psalms 73. Look, because they're not in trouble like other men. There's no humility. Verse 5, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Look, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. How many fucking...
Trying to save themselves from almost...
literally like fucking to the letter T on the script. It's just like Esau, every step he takes, it's just another step perfectly down the path of prophecy. And they're the only race that's doing that the Most High is pointing out, because the Most High is lifting the veil and he's making Esau bare so he can no longer hide himself. Another prophecy.
Our country. We do know that the Gang of Eight was not notified before the strikes. They were notified after the strikes. We know for a fact Congress did not authorize the strikes on Venezuela, did not authorize the capture of Nicolas Maduro and his wife. Once again, I make a lot...
Yet nothing will be done, right? Why? Because the way prophecy writes this, only Yahushua. Now let's get 2 Ezra 13. Look, man, this is the only way. This is the only way to fix this. So we see he writes these fucking evil laws, that he's a slanderer because he's the accuser of the brethren. We see that he is the devil in Revelations 2:10, and that he's throwing people into prison just by slandering them, bro. Right? Yahushua warned us, and the only person that can save us from this person is Yahushua. 2 Ezra 13. That's why they took the Esdras. This is why they took the Apocrypha out of the scripture. Look, man, no, 11. Let me get 11, because 11 accused. Look, this shows you the eagle. Look, bro. Let me see. Okay, right there. Behold. All right, so Ezra's seeing this vision, right? 2 Ezra. This is dealing with the fall of Rome 1,000 years ago, but this is also talking about the fall of Rome's final leg, which is America, in the near future with Yehoshaphat, the Battle of Armageddon. Okay, and the War of Heaven, Revelations 12. Look, 2 Ezra 13. verse or 11. I'm sorry, Second Ezra 11, verse 37 down. And I beheld, and lo, as it were, a roaring lion chased out of the wood, and I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle. Who's the eagle? Whose symbol is the eagle? It's the so-called white man, America. The eagle on every flag, Rome, every quarter, every coin had eagles. Eagles all over Britain and England and France and Spain. This is their symbol. It's talking about the Edomites. 38, hear thou, and I will talk with thee. And here goes Yahushua, honoring his father. And the highest shall say unto thee, art not thou it that remaineth of the four beasts, or the so-called white man, the beast system? They are that fourth beast mentioned in Daniel, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of the times might come through them. And the fourth came, and you came and overcame all the beasts that were past and had power over the world with great fearfulness. Did the American Army or Special Forces just arrest the head man of Venezuela like it wasn't shit illegally? Yes, they did. Why were they able to do that? Because you see how they're being spoken about right here. And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. Every fucking thing they do, they are lying. It's all deception. 41, for the earth hast thou not judged with truth, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. This is all the fucking white man does all over the earth. Therefore is thy wrongful dealings come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also hath looked upon the proud times. They're proud, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. And therefore appear no more, thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body. And look what's going to happen, that all the earth may be refreshed, and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and the mercy of him that made her. None of this stops until Yahushua comes back and destroys this motherfucker, bro. And that's what it's coming down to. That really, in its essence, that is what World War III is. World War III is not just America being destroyed by thermonuclear weapons. World War III is Yahushua coming back with the host of heaven sent by Yahweh, Tazabawath, Yahweh of hosts, in UFOs to fucking handle this dude. To wipe this motherfucker's nose, bro. Esau needs to have his nose wiped, bro. He's a fucking terror on the earth, man. So I pray that this lesson was edifying. Fuck, man. Just unfucking believable.
Breaking just now, Maduro, the president says, has been captured.
He was never on the run. He's been look how they're framing it. He's been captured. He wasn't on the run. He wasn't being hunted. I fucking hate that. I hate Esau, you guys. I hate his media. I hate how he lies. I hate how we are on a planet with 8 fucking billion people, dude. And this is the only race of people daily doing this shit to the earth, bro. And everyone's just going around like it's no fucking big deal, bro.
Nicolas Maduro, president of Venezuela, has been captured, says President Trump. There will be a news conference at Mar-a-Lago on this at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Let me read you the full statement from the president. Quote, the United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with the U.S. law enforcement.
Has any brown man or brown army ever captured a ruling head class white man and his wife of any fucking white nation? Bro, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Shalak, Yahweh Tazabawath Shalak, Yahweh Shai Shalak, Maya Ka'ala, Wa the Allahayim, to Shalak Rayam, Wa Abadyam, Wa Haragim, Wa Mashapatyam, Al Kal, Adawamyam, Wa Gawamyam, Wa Ayabyam Nawa, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Yahweh, Tazabawath, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the water, amen. Bro, Ababa, all the Hebrew words I know to speak cursings on this place. I hate fucking Esau, man. I pray that this lesson was edifying. I give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone of whom I learned from. Shalom to the hopefully acting in truth, to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits to the marriage supper of the Lamb who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Radah. Shalom.